Morning again, brothers and sisters. I think we have come to the next part of the program. This is the question and answer. So I believe some of you all already put your questions inside this box. I will now pick up the question one by one, and Bhante will try to answer your question as best as possible. Okay, I will take the first question. Suki Hontu Bhante, will you explain briefly mental karma and how it works? What about thoughts that are carried out as bodily or verbal actions? Because our body and verbal actions come from our volition, that is, mental thoughts. So in this sense, mental karma is performed through bodily and verbal actions, thus became bodily and verbal karma.
Thank you, Brother Asoka. And Dhamma friends, we are starting our Q&A with this. So we are going as far as almost close to 9:55, just before the puja preparations. So to answer this question, let me tell you, in one of the suttas, one follower of the Mahavira, Jain Mahavira, asks, and then actually he explains to the Buddha, out of the three activities, mind, speech and body, bodily action carries the highest weight of karma. That was how the disciple of the Mahavira said to the Buddha. And then in reply to his question, the Buddha said, no, it is the mental action or the mind-based activity that will carry the highest weight. Now we have to look at it this way. Regardless of the body, speech and the mind, you are creating the karma through the mind with regard to the body and speech. So there are certain karmas, although karma is being done, being processed, being created through mind. Let's say someone thinks that I want to talk bad words to somebody, I want to say some maybe sarcastic words to someone today, right? So this is initially a thought, and then later on it will be materialized through the speech, right? So that is how it works. Maybe the thought, and then finally it will be materialized through the speech, and it's more towards the speech. But there is someone who thinks, no, I'm not gonna say sarcastic words. I'm creating lots of hatred towards that person without creating swear words or sarcastic words. I'm creating lots of hatred, and then I'm creating my mind full of ill will. So that is not a physical activity or a verbal activity. No speech, no body. So that carries what you call severe bad karma, because you are creating it through the mind only. So that means mind-based activities are more powerful on the both side, good and bad side. So that's why, although mind is the forerunner to the body and speech, but if someone is not creating or making it to the body and speech, that would be the highest level of karmas. But some people, they want to materialize. Say for instance, there is someone who has active anger and there is another one who has passive anger in psychology. What is active anger? What is passive anger? If someone has studied psychology, please let me know. What is it? What is active anger? You are showing that anger to someone. I'm very angry. You have to know, I'm angry. But there are some other people, for whatever the reason, maybe their upbringing, maybe their way how they were environmentalized, maybe how they behave, how they process their anger, then what is then passive anger? They are not showing that anger. But through the activities, we see this person is not happy with me. Tell,
Like Cold War.
Cold?
Cold war.
Cold War.
Cold.
Yeah. Can you tell me some of the ways those people are acting on that? If you are saying A, that person is saying B, my my way is B, and then maybe showing some different, but not directly telling you that I'm angry. That is called passive anger. So passive anger seems to be more dangerous at that point, because there are people who become angry and then that anger might go away fast sometime, but the passive anger will
Remains.
stay there for some time. That's why in one of the suttas, the Buddha said there are 3 people who are showing their anger. The first one is the one who is angry or having dosa, and that anger stays for a long time, many years. It is just like someone is writing something on a rock, stays there for a long time. Second person who becomes angry is someone who is becoming angry, but the anger stays only for a couple of days, maybe a day, maybe half a day, maybe a couple hours, maybe for a moment, for a few minutes, right? So this person's anger is compared to someone writing or drawing a line in the in the water, that instantly
No anger.
So and there is some, actually it's a sand, it stays for some time but not too long, sand, because if you make a line in the sand, it will stay there maybe for a day, less than a day. And there is someone, the third person, who becomes angry, instantly anger goes away. Supposing the person has no mental problem, like instant anger. There are people who become instantly angry and do some wrong thing. Quick temper, but then again they go back to normal very fast. And when you ask, no, I'm okay, they say I'm okay. So this anger is compared to someone drawing a line in the water, right? So the problem is with the first person. So passive angry person could be the first one. So then I am now bringing that to our body, mind, body, speech, mind dose. We call them 3 dose. I think the passive anger is more towards the mind part. The person cannot express that mind. That means sometimes when people are having a lot of akusala, it's better to express in a proper way, so you are done with that, rather than keeping it. Like some people are frustrated, keeping it for long. Maybe a frustration, disappointment, maybe an irritation, maybe some other problems, right? So what I can say is that if you are making it only to the mind, that carries more harm. If you are carrying it to body and speech, that has another level of weight. But the Buddha said the mind-based activity carries the highest good and bad karma. You take it the other way, someone goes to vihara, give a dana, only physically engaging in the dana, do the grocery and offer, and saying good words in the dana, but in mind the person has not been able to assemble that mind towards alobha, dosa, moha. So that carries some good karma but not the highest karma. What about the person is engaging in that dana activity, better in that? Physical activity also good, speech is also good, mind also, more than those two. That person can really overcome lobha, dosa, moha through the mind. That carries the highest weight. So that means mind-based karma, mind-based activity is creating higher karmas. But then with that, don't think that I don't want to give a dana, I just make it through my mind, so that should be okay. So that means while this is the truth with regard to the mental part, you have to engage in right speech, right action. I think that makes sense to the question.
So, okay. Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah.
Okay, next question, I think it's a bit directed personally. Bhante, how do we deal with angry and unwise family member? It's difficult not to feel hurt and upset. Just an advice.
It's difficult.
It's difficult. She expressed that it is difficult not to feel hurt and upset.
Okay. So there are few things to consider in that question. One is that before we talk about meditation, metta meditation, number one is that we have to understand that Buddha always talks that people are different. Everyone is very different in this world. We call in Pali Puggala Vemattata. Perhaps I can write it here, if I can. Puggala Vemattata. Just can see it. Yeah, careful. I said dust. So this Pali word is very important to understand that everyone is different. Call it Puggala Vemattata. So Vemattata means differences, individual differences. You can say individual differences. So when we are dealing with anyone in our life, we have to always keep in mind that everyone is different, including myself. So even though you get together as a family, there may be still things that we may have to accommodate. Now in today's world, what is happening with the advancements, developments? What is happening? Are people accommodating other people a lot? Are people trying not to accommodate and trying to become more selfish in their own way? What's happening nowadays? More selfish. Becoming. It has pros and cons. Now say for instance, people don't like to accommodate others. Is it Buddhist friendly idea? Not being able to accommodate others? It might not be a Buddhist idea. But we have to keep going with the society. We cannot become our own version all the time. So now a problem like there is an angry family member. So how we can support that person? Number one is that we have to first understand how to deal with this person. Number one. I think yesterday I said that what you can do is try to understand a better way to deal with this person. I think if I ask the person who wrote this question, the person might say to me, you may have tried certain things to solve this, but certain things may have worked, certain things may have not worked. So perhaps the person might be angry. Just because the person is angry, we don't have to become angry, right? We don't have to go by everybody's same emotions, right? It's like a mentally sick person is going to see a psychologist. Psychologist doesn't have to be that rushed to answer the question. Psychiatric, that person has to have lots of tolerance to answer that question. So first, creating a certain adjustable nature to handle this person. That's number one. In that, you need lots of patience, tolerance, right? Now say for instance, if you have a ADHD, autistic child in your house, are you going to treat him or her in the same way like you do for other children? No, you will have to tolerate that person. That person's brain is not that developed. You have to give some accommodation. That's number one. Number two, now how to support this person? Anger management. What can you do on your side? You have to do a metta meditation. How to do the metta? Metta has to be done towards 5 groups, 5 target groups. Number one is yourself. Number 2, loved ones. Number 3, neutral people. Number 4, No, we don't have enemies here. That the moment I think I have an enemy, I come up with some emotions about, some feelings about that. Difficult people.
Challenge.
Now the same, difficult, challenging people. Like exactly the person is asking the question. You can't go away from this person. Is allowed. Maybe this person may have good side, good qualities, but unfortunately, you can't deal with that person in communication. Gets angry. Maybe a person is more likely a black and white person, right? So one way we have to be kind to this person. How to save this person's emotions in a better way. So, fourth category is difficult, challenging people. Fifth one, all living beings. In one of my retreats, somebody asked the same question, and that person also told, in addition to this question, that I've been practicing metta meditation, but still the person is like this. Then I asked the question back, have you ever included this person in your metta meditation? Now it becomes number 2 earlier, now it has become number 4, the fourth target. Never. I said, expect the worst then one day, because you never include this person. The person was asking how to include this person. That is why I'm telling you, if you include this person, this metta will go to that person in some other ways. Because it's like, when you think about a loved one, suddenly the loved one calls you, sends you a message. How is that happening? Has that happened to you? You think about someone, a loved one, and then all of a sudden the person calls you. Wow, you have longevity. At the same time, that means something has gone to the other person. Maybe the person is living the other side of the world. That means a certain indication about metta radiation. So if you have been including this person, the person would have been felt your metta. You cannot have a communication and solve this problem. The person is having too much ego, You'll be in more trouble after that. How come you're trying to teach me how to become a better person? This is my way. You have to understand.
That's a question. Is it metta only, or sometimes anger also can reach the person? That's what it is.
I think any emotion can reach mental states, but normally when we think about someone good, that person will call you. But when you think about someone who is not good with you, he or she will not call you.
Yes.
Right? But that person might be felt something from you. Maybe there is an angry person who was hurt by someone. Suddenly this person thinks about how much hurt, how much bad things somebody else done to me, and you feel it. Maybe the other person might also be felt, I did it, I'm happy or I'm unhappy. Because we don't know, nobody is talking this part. It might be, but the good stuff, I'm talking the good stuff. Good emotions, loved ones, and here, metta. So the proof to this idea is that there is a sutta in the, I think in the Sutta Pitaka, somewhere, where we understand that one day there was a snake came to the temple. I think it is Jetavanaram. Buddha was living at that time, staying in that temple. And then other monks, some other monks saw the snake coming to the temple. They caught him they tried to catch him, but they could not catch him. And then they also understood there is a monk somewhere in a different kuti. He's not coming and joining the dana and all that. So he's always saying, I'm doing metta meditation, so don't disturb me. So they approached him, said, we know you are not coming for these activities, but make sure there is a snake outside. We could not find him. He might be somewhere. Just want to let you know. He said, okay. Then they went for the dana. So after a couple minutes, he came out. He was walking. That snake came and attacked him, and he passed away. Then now, there was a big question after the dana time. The other monk saw he fell down and he passed away. Definitely that snake bitten him. So they reported the Buddha. You know that Kuti, there was a monk, was always saying he's doing metta, metta, metta. The whole day he's doing metta. But the snake went to him and sting him. And then, why is that? Then the Buddha said, yes, he has been practicing metta, but he has not practicing metta in the proper way, in the full way. Then now the question arose, what is this full way of practicing, correct way of practicing metta? It's not that you sit down and may I be well, happy, peaceful, may no harm come to me, may no difficulties come to me, may no problem, but everyday problems are coming to you, difficulties are coming to you. You know something wrong in my metta, right? Then the Buddha said, the problem here is that that snake did not feel his metta. Then he was talking about 4 reptile groups in that sutta. The Buddha said, this Jetavana surrounded by 4 types of reptiles in the neighboring area. And the snakes you can't stop, they come from different places. So he said, Virupaka, Chabyaputra, Erapata, Kanha Gotra. These are different types of snake groups. Now, Virupaka is one group. Maybe some serene snakes are there, maybe some cobras and all those. Another group includes pythons. So this way there are 4 types of groups. So when you practice metta, depending on the place you are living, you must separately include them in your metta practice. Let's say you are living in Thailand or Sri Lanka in an elephant crowded area, you have to include elephants in your metta because they are wild elephants. Then only elephants can feel your metta. Because when you send the radiation to them, they are not able to go with their natural instincts. Otherwise, they will feel you are a predator for them. You are going to be a problem to them. So that means we have to include these people separately in our metta without creating a grudge, anger. That would be the best way to tackle them. So after a while you will feel the person will be changed because of your radiation of metta. So keep in mind, Dhamma practice is not only a room-based, house-based, monastery-based practice. You are sending radiation to other people. You might call it aura or radiation or something, power, energy. We are always sending it. That's why if you are a dog lover, when you go to another person's house, the dog right away comes to you and then feels comfortable with you. But the dog doesn't go to other people. Why? The dog can feel your aura, the radiation. That's why. They can feel. We cannot feel because our senses are not very developed unless the mind. The dog can hear almost 20,000 hertz. Their range, but we cannot hear. Actually, it's good. Otherwise, we can't even sleep. The sound of the hungry ghost will come to us. It's better that we don't hear that level. But that's why they cannot sleep, right? They are always the alert. What's happening? Because they can hear a lot of things. So we cannot notice this aura radiation, but keep in mind it's happening. Metta meditation is not just a prayer, not just a mantra. What you are doing ultimately is that you are sending radiation, good radiation, sending metta. Otherwise, those difficult people will keep being as such. So the answer to this is, until you come to a certain level of your metta meditation as such, try to adjust yourself a little bit because you don't want any mess in the house. Second, on the other hand, keep practicing metta, include them separately without any conditions. Don't create conditions to put them on. Just put them.
What you share, I believe metta really works because somebody from a friend, a lady which I know from Indonesia,
You want to give the mic for
was
him?
working in Saudi.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Thank you, second. For the microphone.
Maybe I should pass.
Just take the two for the moment.
Come.
I would like to share about metta. I believe it really works because I experienced it. Because a lady which I knew was working in Saudi, she had been working for almost a couple of years. But her passport was thrown away and she's no chance of coming back. So she asked me for help. Then I teach her the way. You always do this, do this, do this. Talk to her, wish them well, wish them happy, give a smiling face and all that. After a few weeks, she got a passport, a new passport. But earlier they said the passport is already, you didn't give it to me. They lie and say that you didn't give it to me. But after a few weeks, she got a new passport and she got a chance to go back to wherever she is. It really can work, sir.
Yeah.
But you got to determine. I said you got to determine. I encourage, and it works.
Yeah, that's a living proof. Yes. So that means we have to first believe metta works. We have to have that. Metta is not an option. Metta works. But we have to wholeheartedly do it by including them without condition. That's what the Buddha said in the Metta Sutta, right? Asambadang averang asapattam. Asambadang, no barriers. Don't create conditions for people to have metta. Right? There are people who create conditions. I think for that person, I give only 20% of metta because 80% not a good guy. So, no, don't create condition. You may not agree with them, they may not agree with you. You don't have to have any intimacy, but still, we have to carry metta. Right? So that's what you can try to see a better way to deal until you get to the certain level of metta practice, and metta practice including them without condition.
Okay, Bhante. Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Fifth, all living beings. All living beings.
All.
Yeah. Oneself, loved ones, neutral ones, challenging, difficult ones, and all living beings.
Okay, Bhante. Thank you, Bhante, for the explanation. Next question, maybe I'll take this one as a short one. Hi, Bhante. How do we negotiate our ambitions, hobbies with the practice of the Dharma, which to this person it seems contradictory?
How do we negotiate our
ambition.
choices, habits, purposes with?
Yes, ambitions and hobbies with the practice of the Dhamma. I mean, how do you put the practice of Dhamma
With
together with your ambition and hobbies?
Very interesting question. I normally talk about this thing. There is a misunderstanding that people are saying, perhaps some Buddhists, some writers, that Buddhism does not encourage purpose, ambition, willpower and all that. They are talking it to the level of the practice only. No, Buddhism is for everybody. Yes, when you look at certain suttas, you will understand those suttas were given to certain individuals, very genius, Dhamma-wise individuals. But what about so many suttas? Buddha was talking things to lay people. Now think about Pattakamma Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya. What is this sutta about? Wealth management. So why is wealth management important to Arya Savako, noble disciple? I don't think. Right? But still it affects. Think about Vishaka, the greatest devotee to the Buddha, Vishaka. A girl who became Sotapanna when she was 7 years old. Right? And who dated a man when she was 16 and got him married. How come a Sotapanna dating a man? Tell me. This is a question. And then finally marrying. How is it possible? If the Sotapanna overcomes Sakkaya Ditthi, how is it possible for Sotapanna to fall in love with somebody? Is this something that is not familiar with your normal way of learning Dhamma, right? That means she understands everything is fragile. Everything is changing. Right? By understanding those things, she was in the relationship and she got children and she got almost 500 grandchildren. Vishaka's story is very interesting, and she did not attain Nibbana also. She went to Nimmana Rati heaven. This doesn't mean that everybody should be like that. What we need to understand is that Buddha never went against the lay life. Lay life is lay life. And let me tell you, nowadays, people becoming monks and nuns just to attain Sotapanti. Right? And Vishaka's story gives us a very interesting point that you don't have to. If you are very serious to become as such, you may go for it. But even your lay life is enough. So the Buddha is saying, with many examples, Vishaka is one example, and with regard to the Pattakama Sutta, you see how to manage your finances, wealth management. That's a very interesting sutta you can read. The Buddha said there are 4 wishes that every layperson has that they have to continue. What are they? Number 1, may the wealth come to me righteously. Is this an easy thing in today's world? Does wealth, money come to you easily? If it is easily, more towards black money sometimes. Right? Does wealth come to you righteously? That's a challenging thing. But if it is, you are such a lucky, blessed person. Then when that's the first wish. Second wish, now the wealth is coming to me righteously, then may the reputation of my teachers and my preceptors, my family grow. Good reputation, is it important or not? Good reputation, not the one you are paying for somebody to praise you online. Right? Nowadays it's happening. Huh? There are people who are being paid to review other people. No, good reputation. You have earned it in a better way, but you are not clinging to that. That's the second wish of every lay person. That has to happen without craving and clinging. Third one, now you have righteous money, good reputation. Third is that now, what will happen? May I live longer with the righteous money, with the good reputation. Everybody wants to live longer, happily. Last one, I know I'm going to die one day. May I be reborn in a better place. These 4 wishes were given by the Buddha for lay people. I don't know whether you have read these 4. And then Buddha goes into certain aspects of handling money. In order for someone to achieve these 4 wishes, one has to properly manage wealth. And he's talking about how to do it. He's talking about first you have to take care of yourself, then you have to allocate some money for emergencies, then you have to allocate some money for some other things such as bali, what they call paying tax, don't evade tax, and do dana, and offerings to the gods, offerings to the ancestors. Finally, give dana and all that to the Brahmins and then the monks and nuns. So, well, that means the Buddhism is creating lots of ambition, purpose. But unfortunately, those people who only looked at certain suttas, certain monk-based monastic suttas, high-end monastic suttas, they have, perhaps that was not their intention. What they have done finally was that this Buddhism is only for the people who are renouncing the worldly life. That's a misconception. So we have lost lots of people because of this misunderstanding, especially the young people, entrepreneurs. They never liked this idea, because actually if the Buddha said so, then that was okay. Buddha had never said like that. So the people who are interpreting Buddhism is saying as such, because of this misunderstanding, they are not happy. They would like to embrace Christianity. What a happy-go-lucky religion. Right? In today's world, if you look at, right, we want to be happy, not to suffer. Right? So that's why we have to say, if you look at Buddhism, there are lots of teachings, Sigalovada Sutta, Pattakama Sutta, and then there are so many suttas where Buddha talks about happiness. Not even that. In one sutta, Buddha talking about eternal relationship, love. Patama Samajivi Sutta in the Anguttara Nikaya. There was a couple, I think with that I can finish this answer. There was a couple called Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita. So Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita, this couple was not new to the Buddha. It is said in the suttas, they were parents of the Buddha for 500 lifetimes. So when Buddha went to Sunsumaragiri, the Besakala Sunsumaragiri, he had a habit of visiting them because they were his parents in past lives. One day he went to their house. Nakula Pita came to him and told the Buddha, Bhante, I have been married to her for 40 over years. and I would like to be reborn with her. And the source for that is that ever since I have married to her, I had no one single thought of being with another woman. So I want to be reborn with her. Now Nakula Mata came. She said, I've been married to him the same number of years. Ever since I married, I didn't have even one single thought of another man. And I want to be reborn with her. Now they are expecting the Buddha's response. If you have 4 common grounds, if you have been cultivating 4 common grounds together as partners, spouses, you will be reborn together. What are they? Equal 4 qualities. Samasaddha, Samasila, Samachaga, Samapanya. Not Saddha, not Sila, not Chaga, no Panya. Samasaddha, Samasila, Samachaga, Sama means equal generosity. The first one, Samasaddha, equal trust. That means partners should cultivate security equally. If not, every day there are problems. Where you went, who you call, let me see, right? Problems. This is the first thing that people have to work on, not like the outside stuff, right? So then if people have been making that to happen, they are free, they are not bothered by these outside world. Samasaddha. Then Samasila, what is the sila for a couple? 8 precepts? 10 precepts? What is the sila for a couple? Partners who... not cheating. Not cheating is the sila. They are only sila, fundamental is not cheating. And then the other silas, what you call 5 precepts, other 4 precepts. But fundamentally, not cheating. So if they are not doing that, they have sama sila. Samachaga, equal generosity. What is it? Sometimes some families, one is very generous, other one is very stingy. They try to pay. You don't have to donate that much, Right? So there are problems in the household. Why you donate this much? You don't have to save that money for this thing. But there is a couple who are both understanding. If it is donation, if you want to do something for something, we agree equally. Right? Samachaga. Samapanya, equal wisdom. Is this Nibbana? Does this wisdom mean? No, this is not Nibbana. Wisdom has different levels. What is the wisdom to a couple? They both can communicate properly between each other, can think about beyond the surface level of any problem. Financially, materially, children aspects, their future, old age, middle age, their trips, their whatever other society, they can sit down and not many couples can do that. Once you sit down, things are boiling down, right? Boiling up. So that ability, the Buddha said, if you, Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita, have been having Samasaddha, Samasila, Samachaga, Sampanya, you will be reborn together. If you want to be a soulmate, this is the path. Now the problem is arising. How did the Buddha encourage this couple to be reborn together? Buddha had no problem. Why? Both are Sotapannas. If the Sotapannas want to be reborn together in the next life, how about you? Because Buddha knows they will not be reborn more than 7 lifetimes. But the nice thing is they want to be reborn together. Why? They are Kalyana Mittas to each other. If they are reborn together, they can practice more Dhamma in the next life too. Rather than you meeting someone completely new, understanding, it takes 10-20 years to understand that person, and then to end up life in a very different way. Think about the Buddha's life, Yashodhara's story. Right? They were together for 500 lifetimes. Indirectly, what we understand is for Prince Siddhartha to leave the house and become the Buddha, the driving force behind that was Yashodhara. Right? Without that support, he would have not become the Buddha. When he went back to the house after 9 years, Kapilavattu, she did not join the dana, right? And he went to the chamber. And then she started crying, and ever since you left the house, I heard that you shaved your hair. I too shaved my hair. Very interesting. And then ever since I heard that you eat only once a day as an ascetic, I rejected the royal food. I stuck to one meal. Ever since I heard that you are doing this and that, I too followed. Then the Buddha didn't say anything. He was listening to her because she's in pain. And finally he said, I know. Your loyalty started not in this life, 500 lifetimes back. Chanda Kinnara Jataka story. By being a mermaid. Ever since you've been loyal to me. And this loyalty is what made me easy for, practicing this paramita perfections finally come to this stage. That means purpose, ambition, and kalyana mittas in support of, in the form of loved one, they all are necessary. So my question here is that why these aspects have not gone to the society just the way they are? I don't think they have gone to the normal society. When it is Buddhism, it's only leaving the house, become a monk and nun, attain Nibbana. So we have to talk about these aspects. So there are a lot of room for purpose, ambition, but be careful. We are not supposed to cling to any of those things. You may have relationships, you may have real estates, you may have other things, children. They are blessings to you. But the thing you have to do is not to cling to them, not to crave for them, but they are blessings. So purpose, ambition, they are very necessary. Without purpose, ambition, nothing is going to work. But that has to go without lobha, dosa, moha. I think that has a sensible answer.
Okay, thank you, Bhante, again. Next question is more of a statement. It's stated here, Bhante, it has been told that if one participates in Katina, it is unshakable and one will not be born in the hell realm. How does this reconcile with your morning sharing that I think yesterday, that the untamed mind pops up akusala thoughts which negates the merits accrued? Seems like until we can tame the mind, it is an extremely difficult task to keep our good karma.
Okay, this Katina ceremony is a ceremony that was added later on during the Buddha time. Earlier, monks didn't take vassa. I think you know that, right? When you come to vassa ceremony, I think in the other center, I think monks take vassa here, right? Other center?
Yes.
In July, yeah. So then I think you may have heard a lot of teachings about vassa. There was no vassa ceremony before. I think many years Buddha did not recommend vassa ceremony. It was only the other religious people who practiced vassa. Vassa means they did not travel at that time during the rain time. July, August, September until October, right? July to August, September, October. Then October to November, full moon day, they must do the Katina within that 1 month. So what happened when other religious followers saw Buddhist monks and nuns going for Pindapata and traveling during the rain time, they were starting to complain about, why can't you stop in one place, because you are stepping on the newly grown grass and some other creatures. You better stay in a temple and focus on that particular community of devotees for 3 months. Then the Buddha understood, so he recommended vassa ceremony. After he recommended vassa ceremony, what happened? After vassa ceremony, monks started coming to certain temples. There was a group of monks who came from Saketa to Savatthi. On the way, still the rain was continuing. So they got wet there. They didn't have umbrella at that time. So then what the Buddha said was, then I recommend the devotees who are taking care of monks for the 3 months, while you are appreciating their services for the 3 months, you can offer an additional robe called Katina. Katina robe. That was how the Katina robe was started. Now no monkey is traveling on the road that much, right? They have new vehicles and everything, right? So that was how it was started. But later on what happened, this Katina row idea has been developed. I mean the teachings about Katina has been developed. Even the idea of Katina, word Katina means unbreakable merit. Because you can't offer a Katina more than one time, right? One temple has one Katina. And it is a double donation, like community offers to monks, Sangha community, Sangha offers to someone, another monk. So this is the idea, how it came in. But if you look at the suttas, while you can engage culturally in this Katina ceremony, you have to always take care of your mind. So you don't have to only be happy with the Katina ceremony. There might be someone, I do a lot of bad karma for 364 days and go to this Katina ceremony, that will wash away my bad karma. If I touch it or if I spend money on the Katina ceremony. Now finally it has become a very big ceremony in many countries. There are sponsors, there's one sponsor, right? In some countries they even bring elephants to the Katina ceremony, in the procession. The one day one elephant went very mad, and the Katina ceremony became a mess after that because they want to outsmart the other sponsor who was doing it in the last year. So things have come down that way. You might not need elephants for the Katina ceremony. You have to watch them. So Katina ceremony is a good cultural ceremony. One way for the temple to get their donations and then for the activities. Also a good activity, everybody can engage, but you have to maintain your good karma. Good karma is mostly coming from creating what you call volition to all the activities. So what I'm suggesting is engage in Vesak, Katina, Vasa ceremony, but more importantly engage in daily activities, good karma. That is the best.
Okay, thank you, Bhante. Next.
How many more questions are there?
See, it's about four more.
Okay, we will make in short and then we will open the floor to ask questions.
Okay. This one. Okay, here is stated here. A criminal who has not been caught by the law in the meantime did many good actions. One day the law will catch up with him and he has to pay for his criminal actions. If the law catch him, he still have to pay. Similarly, as a Buddhist, in this cycle of rebirth after rebirth, when the conditions ripen, I think our bad karma result will also take effect. Maybe because of we having consistently doing many good actions, there is an opportunity for our past bad karma results not to ripen. The question here is, are we able to compare bad karmas in this way? The phrase, reap what you sow, should then be valid. Reap what we sow.
Yeah, that is what we hear, that this is a very normal expression in the suttas. But what I can tell you is that don't worry about bad karmas that did not take effect yet. That is why we are doing this retreat. Do more good karmas. Sometimes there are bad karmas that are trying to take effect, but they will be nullified, null and void, because you are creating a lot of good karma on this side. Don't be scared for the bad karmas effect. For the bad karmas you may have done already. Do more good karmas now, so they will not be materialized. Yeah. Think about someone, on the other hand, always thinking, I didn't get my desired job, dream job. Always thinking, I haven't been able to do it for many years. At the same time, the person is very inactive. Doesn't do anything, just waiting. When the luck comes, job will come. So then you will never make it to happen. Why? You have no virya for the good karma to effect. That good karma still in the garbage bin in the kitchen. It will not come in. When you clean more and more, it will come out. Right? We have to similarly maintain the virya. Then only some good karmas come. Some very powerful good karma will come automatically. There are many other small good karmas. They are still buried somewhere. for you to make them materialize, you also have to maintain your virya. So I want to add that to this point. So otherwise people might think it black and white. I think my life is not good now, that means my good karmas have not yet materialized. So waiting for that. It's like someone is waiting for a partner should come to me, right? Mr. Right, Mrs. Right should come to me. Never create any effort for that. They will never come to you. You have to similarly maintain your energy and some interest for that. Think about someone who is thinking always, I want to be an entrepreneur one day. I do the necessary. I don't see any good things as of now, but I have to continue. One day you become the best entrepreneur. Why? You have been maintaining that idea. So similarly, with regard to the past karma, don't think that if you are not yet blessed, that means that you have to go like good karma has not yet materialized. Rather than that, let the karma come in their own way, but you maintain your virya, so then many good karmas will be triggered at that point. It will come on your way. Yeah. Okay. There was somebody who asked a similar, I think an example. That person was saying, I'm waiting, my karma is not yet materialized. I said, what's going on? Tell me as an example. My problem is I work and somebody has to give me my money for the work. So I'm still waiting my luck to come. I said, how does the luck come? The person is not giving you money for 10 years now, right? You have to similarly maintain how to make that money in a nice way. If there are lawful, legal ways to get that money, maybe you're going to talk to that person. If it is warranted to go for a law process, you have to make it happen. Don't wait. That person will become fully open to you and then give the money nicely. Now it's been 10 years already. That clearly shows you have to maintain energy. Necessary things, do the necessary things. At that point, even the hidden good karma also will become visible to you. Don't always think good and bad, I just wait for them. No, that's a misconception.
Okay, thank you, Bhante. Next one, here is a shocking. What is active or inactive akusala, kusala? And how can we put effort in them? Just put here just to clarify my understanding.
Okay, so I think you are referring to my PDF document which I mentioned. I made it that way so you understand properly when I explain. Now here active means existing. Inactive means non-existing. Active means you already have them, either kusala or akusala. Inactive means you don't have them. You don't have those kusala or akusala. So active means you already have them. Inactive means you don't have them. It might be a kusala, might be an akusala. That makes sense, huh? Okay. So now when you go to that right effort, we were saying create energy to prevent inactive akusala. That means those akusalas are not with you now. You are good. You are patient. But it's like a vegetable garden. I always say this. In a vegetable garden, you are really creating it, but you don't have weeds yet. But just because of that, you don't have to be happy. You have to do certain things. Weeds can come anytime, right? So you have to maintain. Maybe you add some fertilizer. You may get some second opinion from a nursery, right? So inactive akusala, they can come anytime, but I have to do my activities for them not to come. It's like when you become very lazy, more akusalas will come to you, right? You are engaging in retreats, Dhamma talks and all that, but once you become very lazy, there will be the moment a lot of akusalas are coming. Then what should you do? Stay committed, stay consistent in your Dhamma activities as necessary. So that's about inactive. Active means existing, kusala, kusala. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Bhante. This next question is actually asking for some clarity, I think. Hi, Bhante. One German monk teaches that everything that happens is due to karma.
One,
whether
was that one?
okay, one German monk
German monk.
teaches
Buddhist-
that everything
Buddhist
that,
monk,
yeah, I would think so is a Buddhist that teaches that everything that happens is due to karma. Whether you are mentally ill or your things got stolen, so either he or she is asking, is that true? Then her next question is the idea of collective karma taught by the Buddha in the suttas?
Yeah. I don't know, normally Western people who come from Western background, they are the ones who don't believe in karma. This is the way opposite. So, normally, so this is a misunderstanding, definitely. So we went to the suttas yesterday. I think, were you able to receive the PowerPoint slides? You can see that. I think Sister Kanchana will send you. The Buddha clearly rejected that everything is coming due to the karma. So it's a poor reading of the text. That's number one. So second is that collective karma. Yes, we look at it from many places. Abhayaraja Kumara Sutta, the Buddha was invited by a couple called Abhayaraja Bodhiraja, and then what happened, the couple wanted to try something, test something when the Buddha was coming to the house, their new house. So they put a very nice red carpet to the Buddha. And then the Buddha, when he came, he was looking at why there's a red carpet. I don't normally see it. And now they are trying to test because they don't have a child yet, baby yet. So they are infertile. So if the Buddha step on that red carpet, we will get a baby. And he looked back the sansaric life and the future. He understood they will never become fertile for something the both did together in one life. It's a bad karma, and they have not been done enough good karmas to compensate that. Okay. And that was something. They were stuck in a desert, and they were eating certain eggs of certain birds, and the bird mother was cursing them. You are eating my things, one day you will be having the same thing. That curse is coming after them now. Wow. Right? So you are not going to be, he asked, just put this away, it won't happen. So things like that can happen. That's a collective karma they are going through. But the problem was they were not able to get access to Dharma earlier. Perhaps they could have done certain things for that. Right? So then, now they are not doing enough to combat that curse coming from some other people. So a lot of suttas, this is one sutta, there are many other suttas. The first question definitely coming due to the, not being able to read a lot of suttas. So there are many suttas, Ti-Sarana Sutta, many suttas Buddha rejected that karma is the only reason. Girimananda Sutta also, Kamma Vipakaja Abada. Only one thing, there are many other abadas. Some discomforts come from phlegm, bile, wind. They are not karma. Let's say you go to a cold place. Suddenly you become phlegmatic. At that point you are thinking, my bad karma, right? It's my bad karma. It's not Gunting line, it's my bad karma. And they're thinking, why is it? It's not your bad karma, it's the weather problem. Everybody who goes there having similar issues differently, right? So it's not karma. So Sivaka Sutta is one sutta, Girimananda Sutta. Then the most one is important one, Ti-Sarana Sutta. Buddha clearly says karma is not the only reason. Karma is not the only reason for our happiness, and karma may be the reason for many things, but not for everything. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Bhante. Okay. I come here to the last one. Actually, there's a lot of questions has been posted here in just this one slip. First, Bhante is being able to understand Buddhist teaching a blessing. Then she follow up with another question: is being able to understand a Dhamma a good karma? And then follow another question: what enables one to be able to understand the Dhamma? So Bhante, you want to explain the first three questions first before I go? Because a lot of questions.
Okay, being able to understand Dhamma is, being able to gain access to Dhamma is a blessing initially, but then being able to understand them is a higher blessing in that. A lot of people know Dhamma literally, but rationally and wisely they don't understand that Dhamma. They have read it, right? So they are higher blessings one by one. And then the second question is animals.
No, is able to understand Dhamma a good karma.
Yes, definitely.
Yes,
A blessing means a good karma. Some blessings are good karmas due to good karma. Some are blessings you are creating in this life due to your ability of your mind and thoughts.
Yeah. Again, the next question that was being asked here is, why are there individuals who claim to already know the Dhamma and yet still have poor morals?
That's what I said earlier. So I call it head Dhamma and heart Dhamma. They are filling everything with, they are filling their head with lot of knowledge. But that knowledge does not go to the heart. Why? They don't have enough saddha. Have you seen people when they are learning a lot of Dhamma as a knowledge, they are walking away from respecting the Buddha, being grateful to the Buddha. They are not coming to devotional part, they are not doing puja, they are not doing chanting. Why chanting? Why puja? Why dana? Why? That's called intellectual vulnerability. I have seen some people, they are always checking with what sutta is that, where to find it. Yes, this is a normal understanding. But they are thinking that you can attain Nibbana by learning Dhamma through only teachings. No, you need lots of saddha as well. So the pinnacle of saddha is gratitude. Because all these teachings were given by the Buddha. So we should have that gratitude for him. How to do the gratitude? You should have your daily practice. Do a puja every morning, do a chanting, and then try to practice Brahma Viharas. And I think the person who wrote this question will witness us that these people have very less amount of Brahma Viharas. Not that much metta, not that much karuna, not that much mudita, not that much upekha, but bombarding the head with lot of knowledge. That's what they have. So I think we all, while we are learning in the best possible way, we have to keep our devotional practice as well. That is how we balance out this saddha and panya. Saddha, panya must be balanced out. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think I tend to agree with Bhante, because personally for myself, maybe I just share with my other fellow preceptors, because I come across people who are supposed to be a Buddhist, but they have kind of like not accepted chanting. They say chanting is not important.
Yeah.
And they say all this, so long as I'm supposed to be
now the problem is, who said so? Where is the mention that chanting is not? Chanting is a meditation.
Yeah.
In some suttas, Buddha says it is a meditation.
Yeah, I think
They have not read that part. They only read certain parts of the suttas. They have not read completely. Little knowledge is very dangerous, right? That is what's happening to them. They have a very little knowledge compared to the vast reading. That's why you should approach a proper monk, proper teacher. Don't just read from internet only. Go to Sutta Center and read, I know this and that. You need that. Yeah.
Okay, on the same person here, I think there's some more question here. We mentioned here, why some individuals are selective in which precept they will adhere to. Also, their bar is pretty low when it comes to adhering to precepts. Couldn't this one be helpful to progress spiritually?
Can you read the whole thing so I can answer very short?
Okay.
Yeah, that question and then.
Okay, wait, want to repeat the question again?
Yeah, no, selective observance of precept, I understand. And the other?
They say also their bar is pretty low when it comes to adhering to precepts. Wouldn't this not be helpful to progress spiritually?
Okay.
Then of course the next one will be, it is because of ego that makes them unable to see the dangers, or is it bad karma from not practicing it in the past? can this also be understood from the perspective of conditionality? That is, if the conditions are not right for them to understand the Dhamma.
Okay. Nobody can partially take precept. We are all supposed to take them exclusively. You can't selectively practice precept, because precept comes as a package. You can't just single out them. Say for instance, I am so good, I don't kill, but I do the rest of the 4. I mean, the point is that it is not going to work, right? Say for instance, I do the first 4, but the last one I don't do. I drink time to time. But drinking, when if there is no limit of drinking, and at the end, what's happening is that drinking will create you some other problems. You may kill people because you are drunk, you are not sober, and then when you are questioned, no, I didn't do that, and then you are misengaging in the sensuality, and you may lie. So they all are connected. They all are circling around. So that's number 1. Finally, I think the person was asking why all these things are happening. Is it because of the karma? Is it because of the ego? I would prefer to take that ego problem, because ego problem means they have not yet access to the proper Dhamma teachings. That's why I am telling people, if you don't know how to learn Dhamma, don't learn. Because if you learn in the wrong way, it's very difficult for you to come back. So that's why for people who are studying my sutta studies, I always tell them, you must read one sutta first before touching any other sutta, Satipatthana or whatever. What is it? Alagaddupama Sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya. You can find out the number. Alagaddupa means the head of the snake. The Buddha said he is describing learning Dhamma is just like catching a snake, venomous snake. Should be a very tedious task. The Buddha is asking, if someone is to catch a snake from its head, that person will be bitten very fast by the snake. Or in the middle of the body also will be bitten. Also from the tail will be bitten. But if there is a snake catcher, if you witness how the snake catcher is doing that, trying to first use a stick and then disabling the head part and then slowly catching it. Learning Dhamma is as such. If you learn it from the wrong point, Dhamma will bite you. The problems here are coming from that Dhamma has attacked them, not Dhamma. Wrongly learning Dhamma or learning Dhamma in the wrong way. So what is the proper way to learn Dhamma? The Buddha said this example in the sutta. There is someone who is going on a journey. Unexpectedly, the person finds a river. Now he has to cross the river. He goes back to the forest, he makes a raft. Now he's very with difficulties crossing the river. Then after he went to the other shore of the river, she's thinking, I didn't have a raft, I made the raft. So without this raft, I could have not crossed the river. So I must put it on my head, now I should go. Buddha said that is not necessary. But you might think there may be another river coming up, because that time no GPS, I have to carry. The Buddha said in the similar way, Dhamma is only for crossing the samsara, not to make it as a knowledge. Don't keep Dhamma as a knowledge as you practice. So the Buddha said at one point you have to unlearn the Dhamma also. What about the Adhamma? Unlearn the Dhamma. What does it mean? Unlearn doesn't mean you throw all the books to somebody. You are not creating a clinging to these suttas and studies. You only learn to become a better person. Don't let the books control you. Don't let the books, destroy your fundamental human things. Sometimes they were good people. Before learning Dhamma, they become not that good after that. They were pretty good people. They had enough kindness, they had enough metta. But after learning, they are trying to separate other Dhamma people and then saying very, very hardcore stuff that we don't see in the suttas as well. So that's why this learning has to come from a very careful place. Learn properly, learn from a good teacher, and then you need that thing. I think with that question, we'll be asking if anybody wants to ask from the floor.
Yeah.
we'll be giving that chance. Maybe one question.
Sorry, because you're running out of time. Anyone has any questions that you'd like to ask on the floor? If not, then we will then proceed with the puja. Okay?
Yeah, if they have.
Okay, I think thank you very much.
If they don't have, then we will make a reflection. May all the good karmas we'll be making through Q&A here about clearing bad karma be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nirvana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Please get ready for the puja,
Okay.
and we will follow the same process like yesterday.
Okay.